Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can create this abstract animation in Blender. You can get the file on Gumroad for $1 through the link in the description, so let's get started. First let's hit Shift A and add a plane and a camera. Go into top view and press Ctrl Alt 0 to go into camera view, select the plane and scale it up like this. And now on the x-axis, and let's go to shading. Press Ctrl A to apply the scale and click on New. As always, I'm going to use this HDRI here. You can find the link to that in the description. I'm going to switch the render engine to Eevee and enable ambient occlusion, bloom and screen space reflections. Go to color management and set the look to very high contrast. Go into rendered view and hit Shift A and add a mix RGB, and let's put that over here. Add a wave texture and duplicate it. Let's also add a noise texture and put that down here. Set the scale here to 100. Connect the factor to the factor of the mix RGB and connect the color here to color 2 and this one to color 1. Here set the scale to 1.4 and for the other one let's set it to -4.1. Set the distortion for this one to -18.5 and for the one above let's set it to 5.3. Control Shift click on the mix RGB. By the way, if you want to have these previews here, you can get the node preview add-on through the link in the description. Duplicate the mix RGB and put it here. Connect the color to the vector of the noise texture and press Ctrl T with the mix RGB selected and delete the image texture. Now connect the vector to color 1 and duplicate the mapping, and also let's make sure that it's connected to the object. Same for this one. Now connect this vector here to color 2. And let's also connect it to the vector of the second wave texture. Now take this vector and connect it to the first wave texture. Here let's keyframe the rotation by hovering over it and pressing I. And here set the Z to 90. Now let's also keyframe this distortion and this one. Open the graph editor and make sure that the plane is selected. Let's select this wave texture here. Click on the drop down and again click on it and select the default value. Go to the modifiers and add a noise modifier. Set the scale to 2.5 and the strength to 100. Set the offset to 550 and click on this button here to copy the modifier. Now select the second wave texture and again select the default value and click here to paste it in, and let's set the offset to 150. If we press play now, we've got something like this. Add a brick texture now and connect the color to color 2. Control Shift click on it. With the brick texture selected, press Ctrl T again and move this over. Now add a noise texture, put it here and connect the factor to the brick width. Here again let's use the object output. Set the row height to 0.01. We also need to set the bias to -0.3. Now let's also connect the vector to color 1. One more thing that we need to do is to set model size and model smooth to 0. Add a gradient texture and set it to quadratic sphere. This one. Add another wave texture. Put it here and make sure you are on frame 1. And set the distortion to 150 and keyframe it. Select the wave texture and again go to the default value. Add a noise modifier and let's set the scale to 10. The strength to 75 and Now let's add a math node. Put it here. Connect the wave texture color to the value 1. By the way, we also need to set the scale to 10. Set the math to multiply add and set the added to 1 and keyframe it. Select the multiply add and again go to the default value, add a noise modifier, set the scale to 10 and the strength to 0.25. Hit Shift A and add a mask wave texture and connect the height to the multiplier. Take the color of the gradient texture and put it into the vector. Keyframe the scale. Again select the node, default value and add a noise modifier and set the scale to 25 and the strength to 10. Add a noise texture. Put it here and take this vector and plug it into the vector. Now set the scale to 10 and the detail all the way to 15. Add another mix RGB, put it here and connect the value to the factor and to color 2. Now take the factor of the noise texture and plug it into color 1 and Ctrl-Shift click on the mix RGB. Duplicate the mix RGB and put it here. Add a color ramp, put it here. And let's bring the black into somewhere around here and make this black. Click on the plus sign and bring this in around here. Now click on the plus sign again and make this white. I'm actually going to make this a light blue. Now click on the plus sign again and make this a dark blue, like this. And I'm going to make this black red. Duplicate the color ramp, put it down here and again connect the color to the factor and plug it into color 2. Now for the red I'm going to select a random color. Same for the blue and for the other blue. Like this for example. Actually I'm going to make this pink. Keyframe this factor here and again select the default value, add a noise modifier and set the scale to 2.5 and the strength to 100. You can close this window now. Now let's select the principled BSDF and put it here. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to plug the color into the emission as well. Now let's save if you haven't already. Go to the output properties and select the resolution that you want. I'm going to set the file format to JPEG, but you can of course also use PNG. Make sure it's set to 100% here. If you use PNG, then set the compression to 0%. Now click here and create an output folder. I named it rendered images. Now go into the folder and I'm also going to name the images rendered images and put an underscore after the name. That way Blender is going to automatically assign numbers to the frames. Now click on accept and let's save again. Go to render and render animation. When it's done rendering, you can close this window and go to the plus sign and go to video editing. Make sure you're on frame 1 and hover over the file location and press Ctrl C, hit Shift A, image sequence and paste in the location minus the name and hit enter. Press A and enter. And now as you can see we've got the images in the timeline. I'm going to save again and go to render animation. So that's it for the tutorial. I hope you liked it. Please let me know what I should do next and I'll see you next time.